This video is brought to you by Keeps.com. Stay tuned to find out more.
I'm hungry for greatness. I want to be great. I want to be an icon. I want when I die, I want people to cry and make posters and the nation is like, what the we just lost a hero. That's what I'm hungry for.
The word visionary gets thrown around a lot these days. Sometimes all it takes is for someone to make a vague modification to an existing flow or a sound and suddenly talk turns to their influence. In others, all it takes is for you to take the lead in what everybody else is doing and you guessed it, think pieces on your creative genius will arise. But for Tyler the Creator, the road to recognition, never mind widespread praise, has been a long one. Initially seen as a troll taking shock tactics and applying them to his music, Tyler and Odd Future Wolfgang were initially all happy to lean into that image. Hit with everything from arrests for inciting a riot to official bans from the UK and Australia, Tyler had all the makings of a cult artist. And similar to a young Eminem, it was obvious that Tyler felt that he had to go against the industry and resented everything that came with being in the public eye.
Does the hype change your view on life? Yes. It kind of sucks because people are expecting but they don't know anything because it's just hype. They don't really know history or anything. They just know one song and then go based on that. That sucks.
Unsurprisingly, marching to the beat of his own drum and never so much as stopping for a consultation has always been of importance to T. And at the height of Odd Future's buzz, Tyler made wild demands from record execs who wanted to sign the group, like demanding that Diddy set him up with a meeting with Justin Bieber before he sat down with him, asking Universal Music Steve Rifkin to bring Randy's Donuts, swivel chairs, and megaphones to their meeting. While in recollection of Diamond Supply's Nick Diamond, he completely refused to talk to Rick Ross. Having openly discussed getting, quote, co-signs from rappers that I don't even like on Goblin's Golden, it was this disdain for the idea of himself or lying to his fans that fueled Tyler in his early years. In fact, it even placed him in conflict with will.i.am, someone who could be seen as the embodiment of a sellout. I made a bet with will.i.am for $1 million that I will be making money 10 years from now doing what I love and not what makes the most, Tyler tweeted in 2013. He said, then make a decision on what to do to survive. No, that's not how it is for everyone. I'm not gonna make music I hate. In 10 years, he'll be 50 and I'll be 32 making movies. Not even in them. Watch. Unwavering in the pursuit of his own vision, Tyler's original 2011 deal saw him form Odd Future Records with Sony Records, which allowed them to keep 100% creative control of all aspects of their music, art, and release schedule with no third-party participation. Considering that he was just an up-and-coming artist with a dedicated but small fan base, he could have easily been roped into a 360 deal. But for Tyler, this was never an option, and he even managed to parlay his latest contract with Columbia into a TV deal that would eventually spawn into a surreal animation of the Jellies. Despite all the bravado at the beginning of his career, Tyler ultimately always dreamed of broader acclaim and never wanted to be seen as this cult artist. Not so much in the sense that he needed the public's adoration, but the respect and enthusiasm of his peers. I got so many beats and songs, but no one's given me a chance yet, Tyler said in a 2013 interview with Billboard. I want to take Justin Bieber for a month and just lock him up in a cage where we sit and make music. He's one of the most successful people in the world, but his music could be so much tighter. For Tyler, the urge to get the seal of approval from those top-tier artists has been an uphill battle, and when you consider his status as an international star, you can only imagine that the motto of "you only get one chance to make a first impression" comes into play. As marketable stars with a huge age-spanning audience, it almost makes sense that both Justin Bieber and Rihanna were reluctant to take the eventual Igor mega hit, Earthquake, from Tyler. Struggling to handle 2015's Cherry Bomb being ripped apart by critics, one of the landmark tracks of 2017's Flower Boy, the manic I Ain't Got Time, suffered a similar fate when Nicki Minaj declined to hop on the record. I wanted Nicki Minaj on that record so bad, like you have no idea, Tyler told Zane Lowe at the time. I reached out to her so many times, tried to get her number, she couldn't think of nothing. That's what they relayed to me. I'm like, Nicki playing me right now. If Nicki got on that, it would bring not only me to a newer audience, but it would bring her to an audience of people who don't think that she's tight. And that's no shade to her. So I want to take a quick break to thank our friends at Keeps.com. For anyone that's endured a battle with thinning or receding hair, you know that it can take an immense toll on your self-esteem. Even if it hasn't affected you as of yet, 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. As it turns out, the best way to prevent that is by getting ahead of the problem. Keeps excels at doing exactly that, retaining the hair that you have, and in some cases, promoting growth within the 100,000 men that have put their faith into the product. And in most cases, results will begin to surface within just 4 to 6 months. Years ago, taking action against hair loss would come with the added stigma of having to go to the doctor's office, get signed off on a prescription, and agonizingly wait in line for it. Courtesy of Keeps, all these additional stresses have been banished as this consistently 5-star rated product will be delivered right to your door every 3 months. So, if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/HHM or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. Seen as too much of a gamble for some of the industry's most profitable artists, Tyler's retelling of these rejections speaks to one of the biggest hurdles he's faced right up until recent times. And that while he was in the hip-hop sphere, by the virtue of the fact that he rapped, it seemed like he'd done everything he could to never truly be part of it. And from hilarious freestyles to incidents like dismissing New York legend Nori, Tyler has spent plenty of time thumbing his nose at the protocol of the game and its media.
We had Fabulous, Street Dreams, Jim Jones, everything, Can, all that. Pat, what's your 5 favorite albums? And I know you one of them weird, eclectic that be like, chord and all.
As comical as this may have been, it points to what was previously seen as an ideological divide between Tyler and hip-hop culture, as in the past, their fan bases never really crossed over. As an example, look no further than this. Pusha T's reasoning for giving old school Neptunes and Clips fan Tyler his first major feature with Trouble on My Mind.
I got a godson. He's about 11. He's at his house, and he has his friend over, and you know his friend begins to tell him about the Trouble on My Mind record,
Okay.
and he tells him, "Man, our future Tyler the Creator got this hot new record called Trouble on My Mind, and it's this new guy called Pusha T. Oh my God, this guy is like, he's awesome." I mean, it just blew my mind.
Right.
Seen as this outsider with no regard for hip-hop tradition or its codes of ethics, Tyler used to be seen as an outcast.
You are the reason that I hate Tyler the Creator. About 20 minutes later, I go to get on the elevator. I press the button, ready to escape all things. Elevator door opens. Guess who's right there?
Chance the Rapper
Chance
and Tyler the Creator.
and Tyler. And now I'm stuck in an elevator ride with you two. And you two are the that have no respect for anyone else in the elevator.
Still viewed by some as an oddity in hip-hop, Tyler's career from Flower Boy onward has been this mission of attempting to deliver this memo that he's worthy of being respected as an artist. And while some struggled to get on with Cherry Bomb, it was around this time that T's own heroes of Kanye West and Lil Wayne, who appeared on 2015 Smuckers, as well as his longtime idol of Pharrell, began to give him his flowers.
Sure, that's one of your jobs in hip hop. I don't think you would have been a Yeezus if it wasn't for you.
Despite being seen as too weird for hip-hop by some of those in the industry, Tyler has continued to evolve without garnering the respect of his fellow geniuses along the way. And by the time that he reached his 4th studio album in 2017, Tyler realized that some of what he'd done in the past was no longer fit for purpose.
If I started at Flower Boy and then this, bro, I would be a god. I didn't realize I should stop yelling on songs till I was 24.
Rising from the ashes of his most widely planned album, Flower Boy has since come to mark the beginning of a new era for T, in that he is more commercially applicable and socially acceptable than ever without compromising on his approach to the game. Dubbed as the man behind Mysterious Music by DJ Khaled after he beat the We the Best mogul to the #1 spot with Igor, Tyler has come to represent the embodiment of artistry in hip-hop. And now, he's officially disrupted the game to an extent that even those who once dismissed him are forced to admit that he's not only achieved monumental feats, but can be relied on for boundary-pushing music.
Tyler just announced that he sold out Madison Square Garden.
Congrats to
I
Dope.
also would like to
Congrats
say
him.
that Tyler's not from here. What a feat. What a feat. He's not from here. It's different from when Hove did it.
Hove from right up the block.
Tyler hopped on a flight.
In the wake of Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler is enjoying the fruits of his labor, embracing the lavish jet-setting lifestyle that his career affords him while boasting of having a milli for Drake and hopping out the Rolls Royce on his lead single Lumberjack. Tyler has made what is, on paper at least, his most conventional record to date. But when you really peer below the surface, he hasn't done that by giving into what's trendy, but by taking risks. While most artists are placed in a box and reside there until the well runs dry, Tyler made a career of breaking boundaries, and his new DJ Drama assisted project is no different. Armed with unrivaled powers of manifestation, Tyler's December 2011 Twitter proclamation of "I want a Gangsta Grillz tape so bad, goddamn," now feels like a testament to what he's achieved. While others who started on the outside have remained there and vengefully shunned anyone who came near them, The more industry-endorsed Tyler of today has adopted an entirely different tactic in that he has welcomed major stars into his world and on his terms. Over his past 2 records, he's featured Uzi, Cardi, Slow Tie, 42 Doug, NBA Youngboy, and many others. And where some might assume that they're doing him a favor to boost streaming numbers, it's Tyler who holds the power to legitimize them to an audience who might dismiss them as mumble rappers. And beyond that, he's been at it long enough to be regarded as an icon by today's leading MCs.
DJ Drama, who I'm signed to, called me on FaceTime when he was in LA. Suddenly out of nowhere, he passes the phone to Tyler, the Creator. I was tongue-tied. I was like, because I love Tyler. I grew up watching him, like, this is what he is culturally, so.
After years of facing rejection from hip-hop and lashing out as a result, Tyler's someone who very much is a lover of rap music in all of its forms.
Shout out rap music. I love it. DJ Drama, I love you. What you did for rap, phenomenal. From all the Waynes, all the dedications, from P, from the In My Mind prequel mixtape, to Clips, to Jay-Z, to Andre, to West Side Gun for making me want to just rap again. I love it. I love rap. It changed lives.
With DJ Drama telling Complex that, quote, I wanted to relinquish some of the control and let him do what he always dreamed about. The fact that Drama was willing to give Tyler free reign over his iconic Gangsta Grillz brand should tell us everything that we need to know about where he stands. While others are afforded success purely through their sales and drawing power, Tyler has gotten everything he has today almost in spite of how he came up. Now, the Tyler of today hasn't simply disproved will.i.am's claim that he'd have to sell out to succeed, but has bent culture to his will in a way that puts him in a league with super producers and creative powerhouses that he's always strived to become. And with 2 years to go until he turns 32, there's no reason to assume that we won't be seeing the cinematic debut anytime soon. Because once the Tyler of today puts his mind to it, it's basically already done. This has been a Hip Hop Madness original. Make sure you stay tuned and up to date with everything we got going on by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Oh, and don't forget to follow me, J-Taj, on Twitter and Instagram. I make music, I direct, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Hit me up, send me a DM, and let me know what other videos you want me to do and what other topics to discuss. Let's talk hip-hop. I ain't never really had a lot, but I got what I need. I ain't never been the one that'll call anybody anyone. If I want it, I'ma get it, I'll agree. I ain't never been perfect.